We're live. Hello, you guys. So, um, this is my first time using my little laptop to do my live videos, and so here we are. Wow. Good morning. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Hi. So I'm David, and I feel like a new man on this little laptop. I got a MacBook Air with the new M1 processor, and it's so fast and it's so cool. I was looking for a used MacBook because I've had an old MacBook. It's 10 years old. I've been using forever, and I really needed something new, and this was actually cheaper than buying a used MacBook, and so I'm pretty stoked about it. Hey, you guys. So I'm going to talk this morning about relationships, because it's often where we see ourselves the most, where we really become aware of where we're holding on, where we're holding on. So let's just for a minute, because what's been happening in for me lately is I've been talking to a couple of women in my life that are having struggles in their lives with men, and and so they're both mature women who have recognized that um, they can't change the men. They can't, and a lot of it's around safety. So I'm just going to bang around in here a little bit and see if any of it clicks with you. So often we have preconceived ideas of how things should be, how our relating should be, how our relationships should be, how and so we have an idea, and we're pretty certain that we know that it could be this way or that. Now we want, and that's separate from this idea of love. It's like we have terms in our mind. We're we're already kind of figured out that how things should look, and from an ego point, I understand that. I mean, somewhere in our, since we were like 2 years old, we've been establishing what does a relationship look like. If it's a primary relationship with a man or a primary relationship with a woman, whatever it is, we've had this idea. What does it look like? And we've been most of our lives trying to create that, and so in our trying to create that in our journey to have this perfect relating, um, we're managing, we're directing, we're organizing, we're doing all of the things that we think we need to do to get what it is we think we want to get. and and we kill it, you know and we're wondering what the hell happened. If only he had done this or that or the other thing, this would have worked. So it really brings us back to in a 12-step program, where it basically says that selfishness and self-centeredness is the root of our troubles. We are trying to get what we want. We're not open to actually being with what is. And 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 when we are open to being with what is, we're free. Basically we're free. And then when we're free, we don't need anything. And when we don't need anything, we can be there. And I mean, it's so simple, it's almost unbearable. Imagine that even the idea of relationship is conditional. It's conditional. It's based on time. It's based on the fact that we're making an agreement to get something and give something. So and what if we could be with somebody without needing anything, free every day? If we could wake up every morning and make a decision to be here now, to be with this person, And what if we didn't have expectations and we were surprised every time they did something for us? Or we realized that maybe that we didn't want to spend time with this person because they were selfish, and or it felt like, it just didn't, it wasn't, when it wasn't working, it wasn't working. We just moved on. But not with energy, not with againstness. You know, I hear this story. Oh, my heart was broken. I feel, I don't ever want to feel that pain again. And it's the pain of unfulfilled expectation, you know. And then we have a whole story. Love hurts. Love hurts. And it's just not true. It's unfulfilled expectation. So, you know, once you get this, once you realize this, and maybe, there's a process in the 12-step world that we use of going back through our relationships and really looking at them, and what I see, with some of the people that I'm working with, who, like I said, are they're not, in their romantic 20s. They're in their more realistic 40s, and they're saying, okay, so what am I missing? About me. What am I missing about me? What did I? And so we're doing some step work around it, 4 and 5. Okay, what is it in my relationship with, in both cases, with men, that has left me always wanting, has left me, feeling, um, unloved, or abandoned, or all of these stories that we have around, and it's all ego. None of it. It's all in time. It's all not here now. Okay, it's not here now. So if you would like to be free in relationship, if you would like to be, um, alive in a relationship, juicy all the time, it comes from what's our relationship with ourselves in this moment. The focus is always here. What's going on now? Why? So, we begin the process of observing, of being the witness of ourselves. So when stuff comes up, we see it. And I love, just as a for instance, David Hawkins wrote a book called Letting Go. And in Letting Go, he really identifies, where, stuff comes up in the body, so we can see ourselves. Like, most of us are not, conscious enough. We don't even, we're not aware. We're just like, and we run, you know, instead of seeing what we're feeling as an opportunity to grow, to become whole, to become here now. We run away. Oh, there's another one of those fucking guys, those losers, and we have a whole judgment around. And I hear it a lot from, women in my life, and and there's an anger or judgment, or and on the other side, I've been doing men's work for years, working with men, and helping them to see their, not part, but who they are, and they're in the same boat with, still often wanting, their the lady in their life to be their mom, or to support them. Oh, if she'd only support me, I would, bullshit. Just be in a whole and complete in ourselves, and we can be there. We don't need anything. Can you imagine, you know, and I've done this in relating in the past, until I woke up to it, I didn't know I was doing it. I would often look for a woman who needed me. I wanted to be needed. Yes, and so, and it was, it's even hard to share that I did that. And now, to be complete, to not wake up thinking, oh, something's missing. Nothing's missing. Nothing's missing ever. We're complete. And then we're not needy in a relating. Imagine, being with a man or a woman who needs us, and I was there. I was the needy one often, in my experience and my growth. And if we don't get clear here, we can't be clear anywhere. Do you know what I mean? If what we want is to live in, in God consciousness, we really have to examine this and see where we're held back and in our relating, and often we have a lot of energy around sex, and judgment on others and judgment on ourselves, and we've used it as a tool, and we've used jealousy and suspicion and bitterness as tools, and so again, it's all trying to get our way, and it doesn't work. Like, full stop. It never works. It can't work. So relationships in that basis don't work. And when we become whole and complete in ourselves through the process, William James called it, there could be the educational variety, it could be just a real awakening, but and when we become whole and complete in ourselves, we don't need to be with anybody. Then we can choose to be with somebody, and it's a whole different, you know it's a whole different thing. And I know that this, the juiciness of the early relationship is exciting, the adrenaline flowing, the endorphins are flowing, we're all hyped up on hormones, and I did it a lot, in my 40s and 50s, where oh my gosh, I feel like I'm 18 again. But it's like a drug. So it really is, and so know that passes, and then there's this. Okay, here we are, and can you imagine being in what I would call a mature relationship? And when we're in a mature relationship with ourselves and others, then it goes into everything. All our relationships at work, it goes into everything. It spins out into our relationships with our family. We don't need them. But we choose to be with them. We choose because there's love. We love, not their love. We're not looking for their love. We're there because we love. And so that's my, short chat on relatings. If you'd like to talk more about it in a personal way, I'm always open to that. This is not the normal what people say about relating, because usually there's you get a bunch of tools and strategies, and they're tools and strategies to manage. And if you're in recovery, you know that we can't manage. We don't manage. Management doesn't work for us because we're self-centered, and management doesn't work for us. When we're free, yes, we learn that to become. Yes. When we're free, we learn to be different ways to give, I guess. We trust our intuition. We give the way that we want to give in each moment, and it's not measured. It's and we're not keeping score. There's no scorecard anymore. It's done. The scorecard is finished. Have you ever been in a relating when, you were keeping score and she was keeping score? It's bullshit, right? Okay, that's my my little talk about relating today. And yeah, if you want to talk more about that, let me know. We can do that. That's certainly been a field, if you will, where I need a lot of work and cleaning up and to become free, so that to become clear, and then nothing sticks. It's not, we're not always upset, or we're not tiptoeing around in our relatings with our family, or because we're there in love. And if we're not meeting somebody else's ideal, that's okay. It's like, oh, that's none of our business, right? Okay, I'm going to read from the 24-Hour Day Book. How about that? And because today is the 23rd of December, just another day. All right. And December 23rd. Here we go. So, what does it say? December 23rd, thought for the day. This is the book, the 24-hour day book that, I've been reading from for several months for you guys. And for me, it's been great for me. And sometimes he really hits it. He really gets it. Sometimes it's quite beautiful. And sometimes it's like, oh, and it's interesting. It was written actually in the 40s. So sometimes I actually edit a little bit because he's a bit patriarchal and even sometimes a bit what we would certainly call racist today. It may not have felt that way in in the moment. It may not have felt that way back then in the 40s. Um, but okay, here we go. December 23rd, AA thought for the day. We have definitely left that dream world behind. Yeah, it was only a sham. It was a world of our own making. It was not a real world. We are sorry for the past, yes, but we've learned a lot from it. We can put it down to experience, valuable experience. So, as we see it now, because it was given us, as we see it now, because it was given us the knowledge necessary to face the world as it really is. I'm going to try that sentence again. We can put it down to experience, valuable experience, as we see it now. Okay, because it was given us. It has given us the knowledge necessary to face the world as it really is. We had to become alcoholics in order to find the 12 steps in AA and NA and CA, and we would not have got it any other way. In a way, it was worth it. Yes, in a way, it was truly worth it. Do I look at my past as a valuable experience? Yes. I wouldn't change a thing. Couldn't change a thing. It doesn't matter. Meditation of the day. Shed peace, not discord, wherever you go. Try to be part of the cure of any situation, not part of the problem. Bring love. Try to ignore, or just, let's say, I'm going to take out the word try. Ignore evil rather than to actively combat it. Always build up, never tear down. Show others, by your example, what happiness comes from living the right way. Show others, by example, that happiness comes from living the right way. The power of your example is greater. The power of your example is greater than the power of what you say. Try, be free, be love. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may try. I pray that I may bring something good into every situation. I pray that I may be constructive in the way I think and speak and act today. So those are beautiful reminders, I mean, we need these little reminders, I think, to lift us up. And he's done a super job of that in his book, his 24-hour day book. And, it's easy to forget. And so we want to stay on this path of sharing and living, loving, and being available to serve. And that's the path, right? And so how do we stay on it? I mean, I think we need support, and group support, like in the 12-step world. That is group support, and eventually, we get. I don't think there's ever a time when we don't, enjoy the support and love of others. We don't need it, but we don't enjoy. I don't think there's ever a time when we don't enjoy the support and love of others. And maybe in the very early days when we're just getting sober, we absolutely need it. And it's okay to need it. It's okay to, to lean on others, and because that's how we grow, when you lean on us. So don't rob somebody of the opportunity to love you and to lift you up, and but don't expect it either. Just you know, be free to receive. Okay, so we're going to meditate a little bit, maybe for, a half an hour. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, so if you'd like to join me, we're going to do that right now. Um, yes, okay. Just um, find a position. If you can find yourself into a spot where your back is supported, or if you're sitting on one of my meditation stools, your knees are down, so your back is easily, it just puts you in a balanced position, so that can work. Or on a cushion, like a meditation cushion, again, your knees are down, your legs are crossed. But for me, on this couch that I'm on right now, it's just my back is super nicely supported. My head is up straight. I'm just here. I'm going to breathe. Now, I'm not sure how well you can hear me. So just breathe in. And we're going to let go of a whole bunch of stuff. And just going to go through a little list of things that we can let go of as we drop into a meditation, into a quiet space. We call it meditation, but it's just sitting for me. It's just sitting and, and being quiet, allowing the stillness to appear, to be recognized, to be seen, to be felt. The stillness is always there. The quiet is always there. Just, like quiet the mind enough to just experience it, because it's not something I've created or had defined. It's always there. The breath brings us into the moment. Just we let go of any concepts or ideas of who we are. Let go of all of our ideas around relating, around work, any stress around family or Christmas. If we're in that mode, just let it all go. Any idea of being a man or a woman, or being a father or a son or mother or daughter, just let it go. Drop into this moment, into now. come back when you're ready. Hmm. Thank you. Thank you. So, just to reiterate just a little bit about relating, um, the absolute insanity of trying to manage a relationship. It just doesn't work. So let love, let God, let universal intelligence, let now be your manager. And there's freedom. It's just like, wow, we cannot manage anything. Okay. Love you guys. This is fun. This is my first time on my little on my little MacBook Air. I love it. I just love it. Thanks.